Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. How is everybody doing today? Today we are going to be making this fun scrapbook layout right here. So grab some paper and craft along. All you need really is one 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper, and then most of a sheet of a different coordinating designer series paper, and 2 pieces of cardstock, 12 by 12 for your background. If you're on, say hello so I know you're here. And tell me what you're doing this weekend while I share this to the group. Hi, Julie. How are you? Thanks for watching. Do anything fun this weekend? Okay, I'm going to tag people and then I'll start. Okay, I'm getting people tagged. Okay, there we go. Oh, you're just relaxing. Hi, Dee. You guys are relaxing today. That sounds good. I kind of relaxed, but I crafted. So I relaxed and crafted. I'm trying to get ahead of my cruise by recording some videos, so. Hi, Mom. Okay, I've done all the things, so we are ready to start. Let me see, I've got some announcements. The camera's up pretty high, so I'm going to step off my step stool. Right now I'm standing on my step stool. I'm going to step off, and if you can't hear me, let me know. Okay. So I want to remind you about the paper sale. It's going on for the rest of the month. There's 15% off select designer series paper and cardstock. I did share the video that Stampin' Up did today, I believe, maybe a couple days ago. It showed up for me today, but I think it might have been a couple days ago, that showed all the paper that was on sale, or a lot of the paper that was on sale. But it's some nice paper, so don't forget about that when you're placing your order. The product of the month for August is Glow of Harvest, and it's a specialty designer series paper. This picture that I printed out on my computer is not doing it justice, but it is the banner on my the Crafty Chemist Presents group, so you can see a nice image of that. But what's special about it is it's pearlized. So it's very, very beautiful, very pearly. And I should be getting it in the next couple of days because I did place my order. And then the kits for this month are, they just knocked it out of the park, I think. This kit is called Witchy Whimsy. And it is so cute. I did order this, so I will be getting this, you know, in the next couple of days. It is like a true to size witch's hat because I saw a sneak peek of it, and when she was holding it up, it definitely looked like it would fit on her head. But it can be used for, you know, home decor, a tablescape, or, you know, on your mantle or something like that. Look how cute this is. I think I'm going to have a kit together to do this. It's so much fun. And then the other kit for this month, for August, is Crafted Blooms. And this is one of those kits that they don't make cards, but they make these signs basically that fit on the clipboards. There was another kit that used the clipboard, just one that had like the moth and such. So these, you can make these signs. When we have each other, we have everything, and welcome. Just some nice inspirational signs that you could put on your mantle, on your office. I was thinking this would be, this welcome might be nice on my desk. But it does go with the clipboards. However, you could turn these into a card, or, you know, most cards. It comes with 3. I think you make 3 signs or whatever. And you can make this a scrapbook layout too. So I don't know. Those are the sets. Just a reminder that, these are, this is the old one. The online exclusives are still valid. They're still going on. Things you don't want to miss out on that. We will be having new online exclusives in September, and that gives you a sneak peek. Today I did have a new video drop, a new YouTube video. It's part of the YouTube Hop, and the theme was Fruity Fun. However, like a couple months ago, I was the only person who submitted their video on time. And actually, they were due last week. Last week was the real week because it's usually the second Sunday of the month. But they postponed it to this week, and still nobody finished it. So it is a hop, part of a YouTube Hop, Fruity Fun, but I'm the only one who participated. So I made this card. And what I did is I showed you how to make your own background paper using the stamp set. And I also used the washi tape. Remember the card that we made last week? It's the same sort of suite. Hi, Jean. Okay, so on to this week. So much stuff going on. This week we are going to make this scrapbook layout. So easy. And I wanted to feature the, it's called Fun for Fall Suite. So here it is, the Fun for Fall. Isn't the scarecrow so cute? Look how cute he is. And this is called 2026-2028 in color gingham gallery, 12 by 12. So these are the in colors for 2026-2028, the new colors. Let me get the golden glow also. So the paper is golden glow, peaceful pine. This is really pretty gingham, hydrangea hue, the pink Barely Blush, I think it's called, and then Crisp Cantaloupe. So these are the papers that go in this suite, or this paper pack, gingham, and then the back is like a smaller gingham. Okay, I'm going to use the Golden Glow. And that's because I bought a pack of 12 by 12 Golden Glow. It's the only one I bought a whole pack of, so I want to use it. Okay. I did something new this week, and I dropped a cutting guide so you could cut your papers ahead of time if you wanted to craft along with me, and you don't have to necessarily use this suite or this paper. You can use whatever suite or paper you want. Let me see if I can drop the picture here too. It's so weird. It doesn't let me post a picture. Let me see if I can post it as Margaret Workman and not Crafty Chemist. Hold on. Okay, let me post as Margaret if I had to log out as Crafty Chemist. So it should be in the comments. I don't know. Let me know if you see it a little bit later. But I will give you the measurements as we go along. Okay, so let's get started because the scrapbook layout's actually pretty easy, but if I want to color these and everything, there's not a lot of time. So I'm going to start with the background paper. Like I said, I'm using the Golden Glow, and this is two-tone cardstock, so you can see there's a dark and a light side, and it's about the color of Winnie the Pooh. So, and then for the Designer Series paper, you just need one sheet, and what I did is I cut it from corner to corner. So this is one sheet cut in half diagonally. Now this could be a problem because I'll show you. When you put your paper in diagonally, it doesn't fit in your trimmer. If you have a trimmer like this, if you have a guillotine trimmer, it probably will fit, but I don't. I just have this. So you can't really use your trimmer. So one thing that, or how I did it, I'm going to do it on the back side. I took a pencil and then a ruler or some straight edge. And basically, I just drew a line. From the corner to corner. Another thing I was thinking of is you could fold it in half and then cut it. If you have any other ideas about how to make this work, let me know. But this is the best I could do. The only thing is if you're like a crazy OCD like me, I mean, I cut it pretty straight. Can you tell that I hand cut this? Like, I don't know. This seems to be like a little wiggle there, but you see what I'm saying? I don't think you can really tell, but to me, I don't know. So I don't like doing this, but it's what you have to do. If I had bigger scissors, I think it would be better. I don't have any down here that are bigger. But there's a lot going on the page that you really can't tell any problems. Let me know if you worry about stuff like that or if you don't. And I'm just crazy and OCD. I did do a layout at the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo where I cut this into 4s, which is easier to do. And I think I'm going to do that layout sometime down the road, so you'll see what I'm talking about. You got a longer ruler, but you still cut it by hand? The ruler part doesn't bother me. It's the cutting by hand that bothers me. Because I don't think I cut even, but we'll see. Let me know what you think. Okay, so now I'm going to glue these down, and I put them on the top and the top left and the bottom right corner. Okay, let me glue this down right here down. Let's see. Am I out? I'm not out. What's going on here? Huh. Okay, people. I had a little trouble with my ATG. Let's see this. Okay, so I'm putting this in the top left, And making sure I kind of keep the edges even. There we go. Now let's do the bottom right. And you can do it whichever direction you want, really. So the bottom right. Again, you could do it this way and this way. You could even, I guess, put them both on the tops, both on the bottoms, however you want. Okay, so Julie, you used a ruler and a craft knife. Okay, good. And she doesn't care. Good enough. Which, you know, I don't know that I believe that of you. Because you spend a lot of time on a page getting everything perfect, so. Okay, now next, let's do the, I don't know, the other decoration. Now, the only other colors in, well, the only other design on this paper is the backside, right? The backside, and I didn't think that would look good, right? So all of the paper from this pack is gingham. So I chose this paper. This is from the Flora. Midnight Flora, the Midnight Flora suite. But I thought it went well, kind of with the fall theme, but also these little, like tri-leaves here, I thought was a nice small pattern that complemented the bigger gingham. So I use it. So just find some coordinating designer series paper that you like the looks of with the paper you just cut into diagonals. And this paper is 3 by 11. I will say that when I made my sample, I forgot to cut this to 11, so I did make it 3 by 12. So my dovetails go all the way to the end. Okay, so the size it should be is 3 by 11. We'll be able to compare. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to dovetail the right side. Let's see, I have gotten better at not measuring my dovetails and such. So I'm getting a little bit better. Okay, now for the left-hand side, I'm going to dovetail on the left side of the paper. And this only matters if your paper is directional. So like I want the leaves to be pointing up, so. Okay, and I put these about 3 inches up from the bottom. Hi, Diana. If you joined me late, I did drop the cutting guide, a picture of all the pieces. if you wanted to craft along. What do you guys think about doing that? Should I do that more often? Should I do that when I make scrapbook layouts? Okay, like I said, I'm going to do it 3 inches up. I thought that would be helpful if you wanted to craft along. Okay, and then on this side, we'll do it 3 inches from the bottom. Okay, there we go. Okay, now the pictures and such are to your, to whatever you want to scrapbook. I did 4 4x4s on this side, and then 2 4x6s on this side, plus a journal block. Okay, so I told you to cut 4 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 mats, 2 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mats, and then 1 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 mat. Yeah, so Diana, I did put the cutting guide so you can check it out. Okay, so these are going to go here. These are my 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is one thing about cutting them ahead of time, doing the cutting guide, is they're already cut, which I guess that doesn't matter. You guys don't really need to see me cut these, but now I will say that I'm going to put these closer to this side of the page. One, because I want them all to sit on the dovetail pieces here. But also I am decorating down here and over here to this side. So I want to really make as much space as I can. So let's glue these down. And I am using Mossy Meadow, not Peaceful Pine, which is one of the new, in colors. I think it goes well with the Golden Glow. I don't know why my thing is sticky. But it also matches the paper that I used from the Moonlit Floral. This is like, I don't know. So I'm just trying to keep these, together or lined up. Look at, see how this is sticking? What in the world? I'm gonna have to figure that out later. And I am leaving room at the bottom for a title. Okay, that's for this side. And now this side. Again, these are 4 1/4. These ones are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Trying to make it line up on both sides. And I do like it to not fall, like to fall above and below this piece here. And then the last one for my journaling, or you can do another picture if you're not a big journaler. And I put that right there. Okay, I didn't bring my photo placeholders. Let me get those. I'm getting down, guys. This is all I have left of 4 by 6. I think I'm going to try and mass produce some somehow. I've got a few more of the 4 by 4s. That's probably what it is from traveling. I bet you that's what it is. No, that's getting dangerously low. I like to use this because it's a little bit easier to get off than the ATG. The ATG, it almost like rips the paper up. Okay, now for the journal box, I used just a piece of white cardstock. Let's see if this will work. And I cut it 3 by 4. Okay, and then I'll put it down on here. And then I do have, I just used it. Gotta find where I put it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I've got my little T-square. And I will basically draw a line every 1/4 of an inch. The reason I like to do this is because when I go back to use this page like 3 years in the future, or whenever it's going to be. I like to remember what I had intended for there. So now I know that I was meant to journal here. And I wasn't being too careful about getting the lines all even on the edges because I'm going to erase them after I write the journaling. Okay, there we go. Now the last thing is a title. Until we decorate. But the last thing on the base is the title. Here I did Thanksgiving just because I didn't want to have two of the same. This time I think I'm going to do, let's see, I already cut these out. I'm doing the state fair. The state fair is coming up and I am going to do my live from the state fair again. Like I have been the past few years. And actually I'm going to be using this suite to make a card. I think for ease, I'm going to use my X. I haven't used it in a while. But I took it out for the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo. So I thought I'll just use it. I have to find some refills because this is all that I have. Whatever's in here. Who's looking forward to my live from the State Fair in a couple weeks? Labor Day weekend. Now when I use the X, I always rub around the letters because this can leave a lot of adhesive in between your letters and on the outside. So I find that if you rub around it, you don't get as much. Okay, I'm going to start in the center. These I just used my, I cut these out with my alphabet letters because I'm close to my heart. Okay, the state. I would do it a little bit more than I'm doing right now, but you know, I want to progress with this live, so. Oh, sell it on a stick. Yeah, I'll get some. Okay, STA. So the A is in the center. I think that they do the selling on the stick out by where they do like the log rolling thing, and I don't remember what the name of that play. I don't really have a good sense of all the names and the parts of the fair locations. But I know it's out there. Okay, and maybe you can guess where I'm going to do the live from, since I'm using this suite. So I try to theme my lives to the location. Remember when I did it from the cow barn? Where did I do another one? I did one from the cow barn. Oh, last year I did it from the tractors. Okay, so now is where we're going to decorate. Okay, so I am using the Fun for Fall. There's a stamp set and dies. There are some dies that cut out the images, but there's also dies that don't cut out images, like the corn and the fence. So you can see here I used the fence, and then over here I used the corn. Okay, so let's work on this. First, let's cut out our circles. Okay, and I think I used the big circle. Yeah, I used a big circle, and this one's about, this is a 3-inch circle. I need my big stamp cut and emboss machine for this. I'm going to cut 2. You could cut out whatever shapes. If you want to cut out something like, you know, butterflies or whatever, you don't have to put them on circles and put on top. However, I do find that this is pretty busy. You need something to ground these images. So I wouldn't just put the scarecrow and the, you know, the fence and that right on the page. You want it to be on something to give the eye a place to rest. Okay, and the second one. I think I can use my small one from now on. This away. Okay, let's work on this one. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but on this one, I did really lightly use a brush, trying to think of the word, not sponge on some green at the bottom and some blue at the top. Let me see. I'm going to do it on the back of this one. So really what I did is, I think this is green. I didn't even ink it up. Whatever I had on here, I used. And that's a little bit darker than I did before. And then the blue, ooh, I bent it. Okay, that is a little bit darker than what I did before, but that's okay. And I could do on the other, well, okay. So let's stamp some of our images. I'm going to stamp the scarecrow and the Happy Fall You All sign. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Positioner. I find I do better with the hybrid ink with the Stampin' Positioner. Otherwise, I like smush it down too much. I don't know why. Let's stamp him there. So this is how it works. You put the paper down that you're going to stamp on, and then have this. There is a smaller one, but I just use this one. Ink it up with this is a new hybrid Stampin' pad. It will work with the alcohol marker. Since I'm going to color this in, you need to use ink that you can use alcohol markers. I mean, if you're going to use colored pencils or something, you can use whatever black ink. And then put this down. And really, I got a perfect image there. I do so much better with this I don't know why. Okay, and then I need the crow. Actually, I used all the crows. I put the other two crows here, so I'm just going to cut all of the crows out. There's 3 different crows. Okay, use the Stampin' Positioner. Ink this up with the hybrid because I am going to use the alcohol markers. Very nice. See if you can see that up here. Not too bad. This one I could have maybe done a little more, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then this, we'll do the sign. Has anybody tried the new hybrid ink? Let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm learning to love it. I didn't love it at first. And I wouldn't say I love it now, but I'm learning to use, you know, to make it work. I do feel I get a better black than with the intense black from close to my heart. I always felt the intense black oh, I don't know what I did here. The intense black, it was harder to get a full good image. Okay, and now in the words, on this one I did happy fall you all, but for this one I'm going to do hey there. And these both have a little bit of a curved shape to them, so it fits in this flag really nicely. Okay, and I did the hay there. Okay, let's put this away. Okay, now with the hybrid ink, you are supposed to let it dry for a little while. So I went ahead and stamped this earlier to let it dry a little bit. And then one thing I didn't show, but I can, this one doesn't matter as much because we're not coloring it in, but I used the Golden Glow on Golden Glow to stamp the hay. Okay, so let's color this in. I'm using some Stampin' blends. Let's see, I'll tell you what colors these are. This is the Light Mossy Meadow. This is Bronze, Ivory, Light Pumpkin Pie. I'm using two of the Stampin' Right. This is Red, Real Red, and Curry, Crushed Curry. And then I didn't have blends of some like a blue jean material, whatever. So I'm using, this is blue turquoise for the jeans, his overalls. Now I'm not going to do the patches with this, so go around the patches. probably be too hot for me to wear overalls to the fair. But that would be really cute. Okay, for this one I used the medium color, so I'm going to go back in with the dark over the places where there's like little crinkles and such and around the pockets. Around the belt a little bit. And then also a little bit on the one side for shading. Okay. And then I used this vintage blue for his shirt. I thought that would be like a denim chambray shirt or whatever. And this one was, what did I say? Vintage blue. And I'm going to use the medium to just highlight it in a little bit. Oh, I didn't do his neck part. Okay, we need to do his hat. Okay, that was the blue turquoise. Coloring this guy in is so fun. Okay, now I used the crushed curry. Since I didn't have golden glow, I just used a crushed curry, and it does kind of look like golden glow. So I'm making the hat band and the patches. So the hat band and the patches are crushed curry. And then I also use this for like the little hay pieces that are coming out of like his head, like his stuffing, you know. There's a few pieces on his hat. And it's coming out of his legs here. For his face, I used the ivory. I thought that would be kind of like a feed sack material. And then his scarf, I made the real red. I thought that would be like a bandana or something. And then the stick, I made the bronze. And then there's a little grass down there, and I'm using the mossy meadow. I made the sign, the crushed curry. And then this has a little bit of a stick, so I'll make this brown too. And then I did the crow's ice gray shades. I didn't want to do them black because then I thought they wouldn't really, you wouldn't really see them as well, like the details. I'm just doing their bodies, the gray. Okay, and then I went in with a little bit of a darker, the medium color, and I'm just going over the wings a little bit and the tail feathers. Okay, I did his beak, the light pumpkin pie. And then I made your eyes red. I don't know. Do ravens have red eyes? I don't know, but that's what I did. Okay, now these are ready to cut out. What do you guys think? How does it look? Pretty good, huh? Move these out of the way. I had some here cut just in case. Let's cut him out. And I'm using some washi tape. Since he's already colored, I'm really trying to avoid putting the washi tape on the colored part. Because the tape is pretty strong. And if it sticks, I don't want it to rip up the colors. Okay, look at that. Look how cute he is. What do you guys think? Do you like the little scarecrow? Okay, the flag. Going to cut these out. I might try and do them all at once, since I'm using washi tape, and I want to make this go fast. You got to get the right die for the right raven or crow. Last one. Now you guys know I don't like to do more than one at a time. So if this is a bust, I'll just prove myself that that's why. Okay, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Oh, he's perfect, actually. This one, okay, he's a little bit off, but not too bad. And the flag's pretty good. Okay, and now let's do the hay. Now the hay does have a direction. It's not a square, you know. Okay, here we go. Oh, look how perfect that one is. Perfect. Okay, now let's do the fence. And I need 3 pieces of fence. Red eye's good. Okay, I'm doing the raven. I got the raven stamp. I think it's called Quoth the Raven. Is the set? I did get that. That's going to be alive in a few weeks. Maybe like a month. That's going to be my Halloween cards. Okay, here's one fence. Two fence. Okay, this one I need to pop out. There we go. And this die puts like a wood grain in it, in the cutout. There we go. That's number 3. And I don't know if I said, but I'm using pecan pie. Okay, now let's do the corn. Now the corn is so fun. The corn cuts several at once. So I have a piece of Golden Glow here. Excuse me. So look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So it makes 8 corn cobs. Okay. From one die. I'm glad that they're not a tiny little die that you have to run through 8 times. Okay, and then I think the last thing is corn. Some mossy meadow. And I only used one because there's not a lot of room on that other side. Okay, and these I'll cut out as one piece. You can see that. Okay, and I can already tell you, the more I look at this, the more I hate this, so I'm gonna start over. Let's see if this will fit. Too small. I would have used the back side, but it got some ink on it. Okay, that piece is big enough. Figured I might as well cut it now while this is out. Okay. Okay, now we can decorate. Dare I try this again? Let's just go really, really light. Okay, that's better. And a little bit of blue. I just didn't want it to be stark, you know, really stark. So that's good. Okay. So this is the right-hand layout. Let me tape this down. I'm going to put it right there like that. Let's put the 2 fence pieces down. I'll use the X again, make it easy. Oops. And I will show you, I will have to cut this. So okay, and this kind of, you can kind of see what I was talking about, how if you don't rub it good enough, you get all this adhesive here. It's almost like spider webs on in the corners. I didn't do a good job touching that, but okay. This one, it looks like I cut off the edge piece because you see how it's got a little bit of a thing here. I shouldn't have maybe glued it down yet because I'm going to trim around this. There we go. And then this side, I want the seam to be in the middle where I can cover it up with the scarecrow. So I'm trimming this. So if you want your fence to match up, you see how that is? And then again, I'm going to trim off the edge there. There we go. I did glue him right onto the card base. Okay, get my little piece here. This is at the end. Great. I'm going to put him on this side because I didn't like that one. I didn't like this fence. Oh, looks better now, but I'm going to put him like this. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, do you see how here I stamped the little grass? Let's do that. So the stamp set does come with this little grass stamp. I'll use Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to put a few. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'll stick him down. And I did pop up the hay bale. So let's pop him up. Put him right there. And then I will stick the crow. What I did for this crow is I put, actually I'm going to cut this one in half. I put a dimensional at the top half, but then the part that overlaps the hay bale. There we go. I think this is out. This is out. Okay, so the part that goes over the hay bale, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive at the bottom there. And then we'll do the happy fall, y'all. Or hey there, I guess. And the reason I didn't pop up the scarecrow is because I didn't want to pop this up, because that stick is so small, you know, to put a dimensional. Okay, there we are for this side. What do you guys think of this one? Now we'll do the other side. Now this side there wasn't quite as much room. So I had to tuck it in a little bit, okay? So let's put some adhesive down. And when you stick your mats down, you want to leave this a little bit up. There, okay, I like that. So all we need to do is put the corn down first. Now the corn does not fit into the X adhesive thing. I already tried that. The X sticker maker, a little bit too wide. I could put it out just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now the fence. I think I only need one fence here. Now this one, I didn't bother cutting off of the circle. I let it hang over the edge. There you go. Like that. And then I popped up both of the crows. I will put the corn cobs on there too. Don't worry. Let me give a space here. So I know where to put the crow. I'll put him right there. And then this guy. These do fit too many dimensionals. But if you do another design, like if you're not using the crows or the scarecrow or whatever, you could put whatever you want here, right? Like I said, butterflies, flowers, whatever. Okay, now, let's see, I don't know. I might put... I might just put a couple drops of glue. Oops, here. And the last one. Ooh, that was a lot of glue there. Julie, I tried to use my new Bear glue and it's not coming out now already. I used it one time and it's messed up. So, okay, one thing that I did do to make this a little bit more special is I took my crushed curry marker and I just kind of dotted on it to make it look like kernels. So like, so let me show you there. Can you see my little kernels? Okay, and that is the layout, guys. Oops, state thanks, no, state fair. I know, this guy is so cute. So what do you guys think of my Thanksgiving State Fair layout? What do you guys think of this suite? This is with a cute Thanksgiving set. Because really there isn't, I don't know if there's much Thanksgiving. I did, in the new online exclusives, there is a paper suite with nothing else, but it's called maybe something Bounty. I did order it because it was the only Thanksgiving-y thing. But, you know, I think we can use it for that. But it doesn't have to be. This is something to crow about, so it can be for a congratulations card, right? So thankful for you, so Thanksgiving, or just a thank you card, hoping your day is wonderful. So just a fall hi card, and then congratulations. And then there's this cute little flower too. And there's little leaves that I did not use. So I think this would be a great layout with other paper. I could see a nice strong floral here. And then, you know, flowers here and here. I think it could be just a nice general layout. But I also really like this set. Okay, next week, I think is actually another scrapbook layout. Next week is this one. I'm going to show you how to do this one because I will be going on a cruise. So we leave Sunday on the cruise. And I thought this was kind of cruisy, right? So I wanted to do this one for the cruise. So this is next week's live. Well, it's not actually going to be live. It's a recorded video. But I will try and come on live. We're leaving out of the East Coast, so we're an hour ahead. So I'm not sure where we'll be at 8 p.m. if I'll be able to use my Wi-Fi or cellular, because we could be in Canada, we might be in international waters, I'm not sure. But I will, at least before we take off, I'll hop on to say hi and talk to you from the cruise. Remember, this video dropped today, how to make your own background paper. So cute. It's from the same suite. Okay. Okay, well, thanks for joining me this week. I hope you enjoyed the project. And if you make something from this, please post it in the group. The Crafty Chemist presents Stampin' Up! So we can see how versatile this layout is. Okay? Okay, see you next week. Bye. I've got to get up on my step stool to turn this off. So, bye guys.